What's up YouTube? So today I want to do a quick look here with my Galaxy S20 Ultra and my iPhone. I guess you can call it iPhone 4 or the iPhone 4S, but since they're the same size, let's just call it the iPhone 4. So, okay, they're side by side here. You can clearly see there's a big size difference. I mean, one of these, it doesn't even look like you can hold it in your hand. And obviously, I mean with the S20 Ultra. So why did I buy the S20 Ultra? Well, first, I'm a Samsung guy. And but the main reason why I bought it is because I was very impressed with the Galaxy S10 Plus last year and Galaxy Note 10, which we have over here. I was very impressed with this smartphone. It was very fast. I did not pick up the Galaxy S9, so I don't know exactly how that one was, but I know that the experience of using the Galaxy Note 9 or no, Galaxy Note 10 and Galaxy S10 Plus was so good that I just had to pick up the next Samsung phone. And the funny part about this phone, well, the main reason why I picked it up was obviously because of this amazing camera here, 108 megapixel 100x zoom, but I should say I never ever used the 100x zoom, so that's a little bit of a gimmick feature in many ways. But if I use the camera to take portraits of me with this one, the camera quality is just amazing. I mean, it is the best camera I've ever seen on a phone. The photos are just unreal, especially when you take selfies with it. Now, if you take landscape photos and stuff like that, sure, you can still see a massive improvement, of course, but it's less, I would say. Obviously, with this old iPhone over here, I mean, you can't do that much with this one. I mean, that is a bad camera. This is just an old phone, okay? Just an old phone. Even though it is an old phone, what's still kind of cool about this old phone here is the frame. So the frame is something that I guess Steve Jobs got kind of correct with the iPhone 4S and the iPhone 4, how it still feels more premium than even many new smartphones. So even with this phone, it feels quite robust. It has this nice heavy weight to it, but it definitely feels more plasticky and kind of cheap compared to the iPhone 4 and 4S. And it can be a little bit hard to get a grip on the sides, and some people may not like that it feels a little bit. It feels very thick, and it probably because it has a fairly large battery on the inside. And if we put them side by side here pretty quick, you can also see that, I mean, it's just a huge difference. In terms of ports, you have the USB Type-C port here, so I can plug it into my MacBook, which I have over here, which is kind of cool because I can charge it instantly with these like Thunderbolt ports. Or, I mean, this port here that you have over here is the same as you get on the new MacBook Pro, and you get 4 of them, so you can instantly plug it in. It's the same kind of cable, which is kind of cool. So you can charge it or use Samsung DeX to connect it to your MacBook Pro. Kind of nice. It's not something obviously you can do with this one because it's using this kind of older port here. Now this one's even though this does the Samsung S20 Ultra, I hate this color by the way, but it was the only one available. So even here on the back side, it feels like they're using some glassy thing, but here it feels more like I think that Apple used real glass on the back side, which I don't even know if I mean, this feels more premium here for sure, which I kind of like. And if you like to make your device stand up like this, yes, you can actually do that with the iPhone 4. Now, if I would try to do that, even though this is just a silly thing, yes, this one can't stand on the side or it can't stand on the top. What else do we have? Oh yeah, you don't even have, so you have a headphone jack here on the iPhone 4, while you don't have a headphone jack on the Galaxy S20 Ultra. This is something I don't like with the S20 Ultra, because I hate to use this Type-C kind of headphone jack, because they're usually not that good. Yeah, I want a standard headphone jack, because if you want to buy a USB Type-C earphones, they usually are horrible quality still, and I don't see that improve anytime soon. And sure, I can use I have these Samsung Sound by AKG, and if I open this one up here, and this one obviously is Bluetooth, and I gotta say, they work amazing. It's good battery life and so on, but it's like, the thing is, it can be a little bit annoying to have these in your ear, because if you want to have some headphones that feels good in the ear, then you may want to have these bigger ones on ear, and usually they don't exist in a wireless version at the moment, or maybe some exist, but usually not any like super quality one. Maybe some Sennheiser do it, but they're usually kind of expensive. And that's the problem. I don't want to pay $300 just for some simple sound. I want to buy some on-ear with a standard kind of cable, with the 3.5mm cable, and buy maybe some earphones for maybe €100 or something like that, or $100. But that's not something that I can do. So on the front side here, obviously you can notice a difference, where with the iPhone you do have, so let me see, so you have a real physical button over here. I don't have this one charged, because I don't have these chargers anymore, these big fat chargers. Usually you have one or two, and then when they break, it's very hard to even find them in a store these days. But a real physical home button. The problem with these buttons was that they usually broke after a while, which was kind of horrible, to be honest. Now on this one, you don't have any home button at all, because this is like a full size. The display is just covering the whole kind of front side, and it has this like double tap to kind of wake up the display, which is kind of cool. Obviously something that you don't have on this older kind of iPhone here. What I do like about this older iPhone still is, even with these like buttons that you have on the side here, they're like really good quality. You can feel that the buttons, volume up and down keys, are extremely robust, which is something that's kind of cool. And even this button up here, very, very robust, kind of nice quality over there. Now with the S20, these buttons, let's see if I can tap here to focus. These buttons are both smaller, so they're harder to kind of hit, and they feel way more plasticky. They feel way more flimsy. I mean, they're not super horrible, but volume up and down keys, they're kind of in the same button over here. So even though I usually don't have any problems with it, it's just better how kind of Apple did it, where they separated it into two buttons. It was just a little bit more thought built into it. You can also see that it's kind of like a dust magnet here on the sides. I don't really mind dust that much, but for people that really mind it a lot, they can probably find that annoying. And this is just after maybe 1 or 2 months, and that can probably get quite annoying, especially on a new device. How will that be in a year from now? I don't really know. Yeah, so I mean, that's the quick little things about these devices a little bit, when I'm just looking at them pretty fast. So what else? Well, obviously, just because I can't charge that one, I can't really show you anything on the iPhone. But what I can tell you, obviously, you probably already know all the amazing stuff with the S20 Ultra. Me personally, some of my favorite things is the haptic feedback, like the vibration that you get in this device is way better. It's like stronger than what you get on older Samsung phones, and that's extremely nice. The display is so good, which obviously you probably already do know with Samsung, that they're kind of experts at amazing displays, but that this one also has this like higher resolution. If you want, so I'm using standard refresh rate here, 60 hertz, but if you really want to go all the way up, you can go all the way up to 120 hertz refresh rate, which is just insane. Is it, for me personally, I mean, it's a little bit nicer, you know, it's a little bit nicer sometimes to go with the higher refresh rate, but the problem is then you have to go down to full HD, which makes so the display is a little bit lower resolution, and then you can go with the higher refresh rate. The higher refresh rate is something that you usually only see in real life, so you can see that it's way more smooth. Now, I already feel that phones are so smooth already, so I'm not in a big need for this kind of extra smoothness, but for sure it is nice sometimes to just have a look at, or maybe show to a friend or something like that. So obviously you probably already know about the Samsung user experience and how good that is. You probably already also know about how amazing this front-facing camera is, that I think sometimes even is better than that the front-facing camera sometimes even is better than the rear camera. The rear camera is a little bit more like a professional Canon camera. It produces those kind of quality photos, I feel, while this one produces a little bit more like smartphone selfie photos, but are very good smartphone selfie camera. I would say it's one of the best. And sometimes you want that smartphone camera quality, and sometimes you want that Canon or Nikon camera quality. It all depends on what you're taking a photo of and what kind of mood you are in. What else? I mean, there's just a lot to say about this device. Maybe you haven't noticed it, but it has a small little curve on the sides, but it's like super little, which I kind of appreciate that they did, because it's kind of subtle, but it creates this kind of cool effect. And I love how it like you truly like covers the whole kind of front. And I haven't really found anything other than the headphone jack, that I'm very annoyed that you can't get the headphone jack like a standard headphone jack. But besides that, I don't really have any complaints about this device, to be honest, which is kind of nice that smartphones are going up there where most of the times you don't really have that much complaints. Now, is it too big? Because I remember with this phone, it was like Steve Jobs said, oh, you can do everything with your thumb, and this is like the ideal size. But we have kind of realized now that you can actually make phones larger and you can still operate them, and it's really not a big deal. That, okay, sometimes you have to move your hand a little bit on the side or on the back to kind of get up here to the top, but you get used to it so fast that maybe some people find it annoying, but I think that most people actually would kind of I think they kind of get used to it super fast and don't really find it to be that annoying, because I think these days most people are starting to learn how to use the device more as like a media device, and maybe they're watching a lot of YouTube videos on it. And if they're just using it as a media device and watching a lot of videos with it or playing a lot of games with it, it kind of makes sense to just have to wanting to have this like big kind of screen. And that's what I kind of appreciate here with the Galaxy S20 Ultra, which has a very large display. So that is what I want to talk a little bit about in this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and yeah, have a great day, everyone.